Hello, it's me. So it is Monday evening and I am going to have some whitefish. I ended up getting, I gotta get that mailed off, cod the other day because they didn't have any mahi at work or at Costco. So I ended up getting cod. So that's okay though. So I'm going to have cod and I'm going to have broccoli, and that will be good enough for me for tonight. I had albacore at lunch, so that was good. I actually had to walk for it because I forgot to take a can with me today. So I walked over to Safeway and got a can of the albacore tuna. Somebody asked me on one of their posts where I got the sodium-free one, and that was at Safeway. So I hope you guys got that answer. I think I've said it a couple of times, but I want to make sure that everybody hears that I was getting the, I need more sodium than that. I have to admit, I've kind of gotten, I think I've gotten over most of my sugar addiction. I think. I don't crave sugar the way that I did before, but the one thing that I do crave is like my salts and stuff like that. Like I miss my salsa and I miss all that kind of stuff. So I miss that much more than I miss the sugar, that's for sure. So, and my son pointed out to me the other day that actually this George Foreman grill, it says you're supposed to preheat it, which I didn't know. I'm a dork. So anyway, so I let that preheat for about 5 minutes. But so I'm going to have a piece of cod and some broccoli flowerets. And, and I was saying that the sodium-free or low sodium, I should not say sodium-free, because I can't imagine that any kind of tuna is going to be, or albacore is going to be, completely sodium free, but but I think it's lower sodium, and I'm assuming that means it's not packaged with the extra salts in it, that it's just simply using the salt that's already in the fish. That's what my assumption would be, but we all know what assuming does, right? So anyway, and then I didn't make it up to this morning to walk, so I'm going to get to bed early tonight. I'm going to try and get all this uploaded a little bit earlier than I did last night, because I actually thought I was going to make it last night and get things done and then be able to get up early and stuff this morning, and I was so tired today. So, and I think it's just depression, because I keep making all these changes and everything seems to go really well. And they really are, things are going really well. I'm much more positive about where I'm at. But there's this one little change that keeps avoiding me, and I'm bound and determined to grab it by the scruff of the neck and shake it, because I just want it to happen. So it's, and one of my girlfriends said that I have to start using the right words to make, or I don't even know exactly how to put it, but to create intention. I guess that's the best way to put it. So we're creating intention by creating the changes in our lives. And for me, it's always been about my weight. Although I'm trying to make it less about my weight and more about change these days. But, you know, because I remember when I was a little girl, and I'm still thinking that somewhere along the lines, somebody owes me money, because I kept thinking, you know, all I need is a vacuum cleaner to suck all this fat out of my body. There's going to be a vacuum cleaner someday that's going to just take it all out. And now you've got liposuction. So, you know, I wish I would have been a scientist or something. I'd have been worth millions. So anyway, so it's just about creating intention, and it's creating the right kind of intention. And so I'm learning how to be more positive. She told me to get something called The Secret, so I don't know if any of you out there have read it. I have not read it yet, and I keep meaning to get to the store so that I can pick up a copy of the CDs or something, because Lord knows I don't have time to sit down and read. But she said that it was, she used CDs and she really liked it, and it really helped her to create some change in her life. And I had done the same thing with, was it Stephen Covey? No, who was it? I can't remember who it was. Somebody, whoever wrote 7 Habits of the seven habits. Well, there's 7 habits for the highly effective family. And my son and I, we never worked through like all of the notebooks or anything like that. But my son and I listened to tapes, and I still have the tapes to this day. And we listen to those still every once in a while in the car. And they just make a huge difference. I mean, for my son and I, it was so hard because my, my ex walked out on us. It was very hard. It's still hard. And that was almost 20 years ago. My son's 20. It's been like, for forever. It hasn't been quite 20 years. But, I mean, it wasn't his fault necessarily 100%, because, I mean, it takes 2 people to tango. And it wasn't like we fought all the time. It just really wasn't meant to be. So, Star, would you like some water? Here. There you go. And, so, I mean, but it was hard, it was really hard for Robert. It was really hard for Robert, and it was hard for me, and it took a lot for us to get through all of that, and those tapes really made a big difference. And it's always been hard for Robert because they've never, that side of the family has never basically acknowledged the fact that either one of us exist. So, it's just nasty. And I feel bad for kids when it happens. And he's got 2 half-brothers that we never see or hear from. So, and it wasn't that he hasn't tried to be in touch with them, but, oh well. We move on. We live and we move on. And that's what we have tried to keep in the back of our minds, that we definitely live and move on, and it's just hard. So, not that that has anything to do with the fact that I'm losing weight on this program, and you guys need to try it. So, sorry, I get so excited about some things. Some things are like my pet peeve. So, and I don't know that every child has to have both parents, but I don't know that they necessarily need to be living together. And my son had some of the best dads, because he was involved with Scouts. So, I mean, wasn't perfect. It wasn't the perfect ideal thing, but you know what? It was good for him. So, anyway. So, there you go. There's my soapbox for the day. I'm having cod and broccoli and a soapbox talk. So, I hope you have a great day. I will talk to you later.